All right, what's going on YouTube? I know it's been a little minute. Gonna do a little update, some stuff I'm gonna be posting on IG. Don't really like the marketplace vibes. Just too many people asking ridiculous, stupid questions and no intentions to buy. But just some of my good problems to have here. This is a motor I completely forgot asked me about a 5.3. So got a Forge 5.3 here. I want to say it's a little bit longer rod in it. I have to look back at the specs, but I want to say that's a little bit longer rod. 5.3 Forge internals right there. Selling that for 35. I need to look at that offset compared to my new offset on the new rims. Snowball Camaro in the mix. Turbonetics back on there. Precision is still like count your days. I have tried everything with this Precision, and it is still eating oil. It is still eating oil like crazy. Mainly Turbonetics is doing the trick. They say, oh, it's an older turbo. It's not as good as this turbo. Well, give me an older turbo. Because right now, I'm just want my money back from Precision. It's crazy. I think I said 35 on that one. I gotta like get back on my projects and the motors and stuff. Most of them are on run stands. I want to get them to where they're all ready to run. It will cause me to buy a lot of starters, but I want to just have them all ready to run just for entertainment purposes only when people come over. But bit block, it fires right up. Of course, I just got to put a carburetor on there. The carburetor happens to be on the 406. So I am working on the turbo setup for the 406. I just got to sit down and come up with some game plans. But the turbo setup is in the mix there. V-band and that's coming along. Thinking about putting that into the Trans Am and then doing the newer style nose swap on the Trans Am. I actually saw one of those on Marketplace. Thinking about getting it. 480E I had cleaned up really, really well. Was going to be putting it back together, going a different route on that. And then I also have another 4L80E outside. Going to be selling all that stuff. Going a different route. Needless to say. Super, super bad Gen 4. Man, I did so much work on this thing. Had it line honed, fully sleeved, decked. Of course, the DOD stuff, it wasn't just plugged. I actually ended up welding it and then end up shaving that. Like I said, it's been zero decked, forged internals. This one here is what I consider like a 2.5 on the cam, a little bit bigger cam than what I normally run for my street strip stuff, a little bit bigger cam on it, but ATI balancer. This was what I was supposed to put my my supercharger on. So really good setup here, man. Something like this here end up going for like 9.5, somewhere in that ballpark. Couple of 6.2s here. Of course, torsion and upgrade, rocker arms on them. Ring gap, ARP rod bolts. This one here still has a stock rod. Stuff like this end up going for 6.5. This one right here, no ARP rod bolts, I want to say, on this one here. This one here end up going for 5. Stock ring gap on that one. Stock ring gap on that one. A little bit better for, I'm going to say like long trips and stuff like that. Less ring gap, more of a motor, light nitro situation there. This is more of a boost. Let's say I don't have the bungs on this one here. I got the bungs on this one, so this is more of a nitrous turbo setup here. A little bit more ring gap in it. Same thing with this one here. This is the 5.0 forged internals. Purple Rain right there. That's probably going to end up going in the Camaro, I think. Believe it or not, all Ford 6.2 might end up being a backup motor for it. Like I said, believe it or not. Got another 6.2 here, short block. Another 6.0 right here going together. Just a good, I'm going to say a good cheap. This is not a forged piston, but it's a good aftermarket piston. It's a, if you want to save a few pennies, I just happen to have them, just sitting, just happen to have them sitting. Reconditioned rod, putting the ARP rod bolts in them, ring gap Of course, you see the plug off for the DOD. Of course, lip does my stage 2 cam. New trays, heads to be reworked. This is a good street strip build. Stuff like this will be going for $4,000. Probably end up putting a set of rec ports on it. First set of rec ports are probably going to go on the all 4.62, which is crazy to think that I would put a smaller motor in my new gen Camaro than the 6.2, but I'm kind of curious to see what the smaller motor is going to do. Believe it or not, I'm kind of curious to see what it's going to do. So we shall see. All fours big block there, not ready to buy a set of heads for it yet. I'm trying to make my mind up on some stuff because I actually was going to put a big block in my, that's a 6th gen, my 6th gen Camaro. So that's going to put a big block in my 6th gen Camaro. Of course, another big block over there for backup, just because big block blocks that I'm just going to end up selling. Is one of the weak points next to the ride bolt. So I do believe in the ride bolts is what you can do when you pull them apart and put a ring gap in them, and new bearings, oil pump, timing chain, dampener, just some stuff, some simple stuff you can do. So that's what's in the mix with the motors. I'm actually about to sit down and do a little bit of planning so I can get some stuff in line. It's been air conditioning. I'm not gonna say I've been slacking, even though I'm gonna say I've been slacking. I haven't been slacking that much. It's just been a lot of air conditioning. So I've been telling myself I was tired, but I really just been being lazy. So I just really now gotta get to it. Mix LS Borg Warner. Slowly getting parts for it. I think my drains are already on here, so I'll be doing my drain. Get my drain ran to 1 or 2 of these bungs. Just ordered some wires. Should already had wires. That's another story. Gonna see what wastegate I'm gonna end up running. I was thinking about using one of the, I think it's like an On 3 or On Go or something like that. Had to end up making my water connection here, drop down and come around. So had to end up building that. So that's gonna be like such and come out down there. So yeah, we got exhaust going all the way back. Seeing a couple classes that want you to have the exhaust going all the way out into a muffler. So that's in the mix there. A lot of work already done on it. Just I messed that up doing the hood. So do have a hood with buttons. Door was splitting. I end up fiberglass and then putting a screw through it to hold it together. So come back and finish that up. But yeah. Already got some music going in it, some of the wires, but just a lot of little small stuff I got to patch up, working on some stuff on the dash. This will be a heat and AC, all steel, all glass, stock style suspension. Up under here, that's what's going on with this one. Had some complaints about the other car not being all steel, all glass. This car here is actually going to be way lighter than the other car. So just FYI, the glass is really not that big of a weight factor. I'm not sure why it's such a step, but nevertheless, this car will be lighter than the other car that is not all steel, all glass. So yeah, still did a lot of good bracing on the twin turbo build. Not twin turbo build, on the twin Camaro build. So still a safe car, but if there's a problem with the bars, it's fully like it unbolts. Bolts here, bolts there. Same thing on the other side. Swing out right here in the middle to support it. And then it's also another bar that goes from here to the top there. So making it super safe, but it also can unbolt in case it's a class I need to get into. So car is kind of about classing and having fun. The 6th gen is going to be the same thing. It's going to be more like focused towards classing and then just making it a lot more street friendly. I don't have the big on the Snowball Camaro, and I'm just trying to have really big tanks on these because the E85 burns like a time and a half as much as gas. So that's how much more fuel I need, and it's scarce here in Dothan, and I see where it's scarce in other parts. You know, you might only have 1 or 2 stations in a city that sells E85. So Just trying to combat with that as far as getting music in the back and like how big of a tank I can actually run. So looking at that on both builds, but both of them are gonna be in the mix. Not really, thankfully, not a lot to do on the Snowball Camaro. It's pretty much, this does not remove. These are sports hoops. These do not remove. Like I said, the other ones remove on the other car. These do not remove. I can remove this here. This part does remove, but the rest of it does not remove. I made them removable on the other car. What I'm gonna do safety-wise on the 6th gen Camaro. Like I said, 406. I'm gonna be looking at getting it situated for the Trans Am. Also thinking about doing a nose lift on it. Going to the 2 lights. Might end up buying another car. I saw a car on Marketplace for like $500. Would also come with an extra set of T-tops and honeycomb lights. I think it's worth it just for that. So I might look at picking that up. That might end up being in the mix. Like I said, doing that facelift and then maybe trying to paint it. But definitely, I'm not a huge small block fan, but I just feel like I got a really good set of Brodex heads on this small block. I just kind of want to show what that small block can do with those heads on it. So that's going to be in the mix. Going to be dropping some motors and some transmissions in. Like I said, trying to get some projects out the way, see what I got left over, see what I need to sell, see what I need to do something with. So I still have the side-by-side. I'm not happy with the rear end setup on it, on how it sits. So not sure if I'm going adapters or if I'm just going to start over with a 9-inch on that setup. But I'm going to be getting the motor and transmission into that. That's going to have to happen also. It's probably going to end up being some aluminum 5.3 and a turbo 400 just to keep it simple. And then I'll start looking at a drive shaft setup on it or whatnot and hopefully be able to drive it around. Still looking at and working on a brake setup on this one here. So maybe as I'm into the brake setup and doing it on this one here, I can also look at the brake setup on the side-by-side. And then also I'm not really happy with the vacuum assisted brakes on the Trans Am. So I might end up doing like 3 brake jobs, like all in one. Okay, that might end up being the deal. Still have another orange Camaro out here. We might just end up putting a motor setup in just because to be able to show its capabilities before I actually sell it. So that's what's in the mix. I guess the only hold up determining factor is gonna be converters, how many converters I got sitting around here for the power that some of the motors are gonna be making. But we're gonna get some stuff in the mix. I'm gonna start posting a lot more car stuff, especially going late into the year as it starts to cool off a little bit. I have some more free time and it won't be full-fledged AC time. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna make sure I get some stuff posted. I'm making my business because I'm gonna be out here on it for the next couple of days. Gonna do some consistency and I'm gonna try to post up every day the stuff I'm gonna be working on. Line lock has to get ordered for this one here. And from there, I'll be looking at the manual setup for the Trans Am. Maybe get it washed off, motivated, see what motor and transmission I want to put in there. So stay tuned.